What if I told you that some of your most normal daily habits are quietly shrinking your focus, weakening your memory, and accelerating brain aging without you even realizing it? You don't feel it happening. There's no sudden pain, no dramatic warning sign. Just small changes, more forgetfulness, lower concentration, mental fatigue, mood swings. And over time, those small changes compound. Your brain is the most complex organ in your body. It controls your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions, your memories, your entire identity. And yet, most people unknowingly damage it every single day. Let's talk about the first habit, chronic sleep deprivation. Sleep is not just rest, it's repair. While you sleep, your brain clears out metabolic waste through a system known as the glymphatic system. Think of it like a nightly cleaning crew removing toxic proteins that build up during the day. When you consistently sleep less than 7 hours, that cleanup process becomes incomplete. Waste accumulates, inflammation rises, memory consolidation weakens. Studies have shown that even a few nights of poor sleep can reduce attention, reaction time, and emotional regulation. Over months and years, chronic sleep deprivation has been linked to increased risk of cognitive decline. And here's the scary part. Lack of sleep doesn't just make you tired. It changes your brain chemistry, stress hormones increase, insulin sensitivity drops, appetite hormones shift. You crave more sugar and processed food, which leads directly into the second damaging habit, excess sugar and ultra-processed foods. Your brain runs on glucose, yes, but that doesn't mean it thrives on constant sugar spikes. When you consume high amounts of refined sugar regularly, blood sugar rises quickly, insulin follows. Then comes the crash. This roller coaster can impair focus, increase irritability, and over time contribute to insulin resistance, even in the brain. Some researchers even refer to Alzheimer's disease as type 3 diabetes because of its strong connection to impaired insulin signaling in brain cells. Ultra-processed foods also tend to be low in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and micronutrients that the brain needs to function optimally. Instead, they often promote low-grade inflammation, and inflammation is one of the key drivers of cognitive decline. Now let's move to the third daily habit, constant digital overstimulation. Your brain was not designed for endless scrolling, rapid notifications, short-form content bursts, and constant multitasking. Every notification triggers a small dopamine release, the neurotransmitter linked to reward and motivation. Over time, your brain adapts to this high-frequency stimulation. Baseline dopamine sensitivity decreases. What does that mean in simple terms? Normal, slower activities, reading a book, deep work, meaningful conversations, start to feel less stimulating. Attention span shortens. Focus becomes harder to maintain. Research suggests that heavy multitasking can reduce grey matter density in areas responsible for cognitive control. And here's the paradox. The more you try to stay productive by multitasking, the more your brain's efficiency decreases. Now think about your daily routine. Late nights, early alarms, high sugar snacks, endless scrolling, stressful deadlines, minimal movement. Each habit alone may seem harmless, but together they create chronic neurological stress. Now let's talk about the fourth daily habit that silently weakens your brain, chronic stress. A little stress is normal. In fact, short bursts of stress can sharpen focus and improve performance. But chronic, unrelenting stress is a different story. When you're constantly stressed, your body releases cortisol, the primary stress hormone. In small amounts, cortisol is useful, but when it stays elevated for weeks, months, or years, it begins to affect the brain structure. One of the most vulnerable areas is the hippocampus, the region responsible for memory formation and learning. Prolonged high cortisol levels have been linked to reduced hippocampal volume and impaired memory. That's why during extremely stressful periods of life, people often say, "My brain just isn't working." It's not just a feeling, it's biology. Chronic stress also increases inflammation and disrupts sleep, creating a cycle that compounds brain strain. Now let's move to the fifth habit, physical inactivity. Your brain depends on blood flow. Movement increases circulation, delivering oxygen and nutrients to brain cells. Exercise also stimulates the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, often called BDNF, a protein that supports neuron growth and strengthens neural connections. In simple terms, movement helps your brain build and protect itself. When you sit for long hours every day, blood flow slows. BDNF production decreases. Over time, this can impact mood, memory, and cognitive performance. The good news: even moderate activity like brisk walking for 30 minutes a day has been shown to improve brain health. Now, here's the sixth daily habit that many people overlook: social isolation. Humans are wired for connection. Meaningful social interaction stimulates multiple brain regions involved in emotion, language, and cognition. When social engagement decreases, especially over long periods, cognitive stimulation drops. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness is associated with increased risk of cognitive decline and dementia. It's not just about being physically alone. It's about lacking meaningful interaction. Conversation challenges your brain. It forces you to listen, process, respond, remember. It's mental exercise. Now let's talk about the seventh habit: dehydration. Your brain is about 75% water. Even mild dehydration can reduce concentration, increase fatigue, and impair short-term memory. When you're dehydrated, blood volume slightly decreases. That means less efficient oxygen delivery to the brain. The result: brain fog, slower reaction time, reduced clarity. And here's what makes this worse: many people mistake thirst for hunger or fatigue. Instead of drinking water, they reach for caffeine or sugar, which can temporarily mask the problem while adding new stressors. Now step back and look at the full picture: sleep deprivation, excess sugar, digital overstimulation, chronic stress, physical inactivity, social isolation, dehydration. None of these habits feel dramatic on their own, but together they create a constant strain on your brain's structure, chemistry, and resilience. The damage is subtle. It shows up as reduced focus, forgetfulness, irritability, low motivation, mental fatigue. And because it develops gradually, most people normalize it. They assume it's just aging, just a busy life, just stress. But in many cases, it's daily behavior. Now comes the most important part of this conversation. If these 7 daily habits are slowly damaging your brain, how do you protect it? The first step is understanding something powerful. Your brain is not fixed. It is adaptable. It is plastic. It can rewire, rebuild, and strengthen itself throughout your life. This ability is called neuroplasticity. That means the same way daily habits can weaken it, daily habits can also restore it. Let's start with sleep. Protecting your brain begins at night. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of consistent, high-quality sleep. Go to bed and wake up at the same time each day. Reduce bright screens at least 1 hour before bed. Keep your room cool and dark. When you prioritize sleep, you allow your brain to clear toxins, consolidate memories, regulate emotions, and reset neurotransmitters. Sleep is not laziness. It's neurological maintenance. Next, stabilize your blood sugar. Build meals around protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Reduce added sugars and refined carbohydrates. Eat whole fruits instead of sugary drinks. Choose minimally processed foods. When blood sugar remains stable, your brain receives steady fuel instead of energy spikes and crashes. That translates into better focus, improved mood, and long-term cognitive protection. Now let's talk about digital boundaries. You don't need to eliminate technology, but you do need intentional use. Try scheduled breaks from notifications. Turn off non-essential alerts. Practice single tasking instead of multitasking. Read long-form content. Engage in activities that require sustained attention. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. That's normal. Your brain has adapted to high stimulation, but over time, attention span rebuilds. Movement is your next tool. Exercise doesn't just build muscle, it builds brain cells. Even walking, stretching, or light strength training stimulates BDNF, the protein that supports neural growth. Consistency matters more than intensity. 30 minutes most days of the week can significantly improve cognitive resilience. Then comes stress management. You cannot eliminate stress completely, but you can change your response to it. Breathing exercises, mindfulness, prayer, journaling, time in nature, these are not trends. They regulate the nervous system. They lower cortisol. They protect the hippocampus. When you calm your nervous system regularly, you protect memory and emotional balance. Now think about connection. Make time for meaningful conversations. Call a friend. Spend time with family. Join a community group. Even short social interactions stimulate complex brain activity. Connection keeps your brain engaged. And finally, hydrate intentionally. Drink water consistently throughout the day. Don't wait until you're extremely thirsty. Mild dehydration can impair thinking before you even notice it. Now step back and look at this. You don't need advanced brain supplements. You don't need expensive biohacking devices. You don't need extreme routines. You need consistent foundational habits: sleep, whole food, movement, stress regulation, digital balance, connection, hydration. These are not glamorous, but they are powerful. The brain you will have 10 years from now is being shaped by what you do today. Every late night, every meal choice, every scroll session, every walk, every glass of water. Your future clarity, memory, and emotional stability are being built or eroded by small daily decisions. And here's the most empowering truth of all: it's not too late. The brain can improve at almost any age when given the right environment. It shapes your thoughts, your emotions, your memories, your personality, your entire experience of life. And yet, most of the damage it experiences doesn't come from dramatic accidents or rare diseases. It comes from daily habits: the late nights, the constant scrolling, the sugar spikes, the stress you never release, the hours of sitting, the isolation, the dehydration you ignore. None of these feel dangerous in the moment. That's why they're powerful. They work slowly, quietly, gradually. But here's the part that should give you hope. Your brain is not fragile, it's adaptable. It responds to sleep. It responds to movement. It responds to better nutrition. It responds to calm. It responds to connection. Every positive habit you build strengthens neural pathways. Every good night of sleep clears waste. Every walk increases blood flow. Every balanced meal stabilizes energy. Every moment of real human connection stimulates cognitive activity. You are not stuck with the brain you have today. You are actively shaping the brain you will have tomorrow. And maybe that's the most important realization of all. Brain health isn't built in one dramatic decision. It's built in small, daily choices. So the next time you reach for your phone at midnight, the next time you skip movement, the next time you ignore sleep, pause. Ask yourself, am I protecting my brain or slowly draining it? Because the quality of your future, your clarity, your memory, your emotional strength depends on what you choose today. And the best time to start protecting your brain isn't someday.